Welcome back to another LEGO City Zoo update. The other day I started building the Mills plates for the zoo, and I also added this creek, which is going to be fed from a waterfall coming off the mountain behind the zoo. There's also this reddish-brown wall built with the palisade bricks that frames the entire zoo. Lots of Mills plate work still has to be done. I hope to get that done today. Over here we've got a bunch of space in front of the aquarium. In addition to the Mills plates, I hope to start plotting out the actual animal habitats as well, because of course that's important for when it comes to a zoo. Here's the Mills plate work. I actually relocated the creek a little bit, and you can see the elevation change throughout the zoo as well. So it starts off at 1 brick, and then it transitions to 2 brick, and also 3 brick. Those elevations can change, and they will be blended in as well. But now you can see like the sheer size of this zoo. It's massive, and I love the fact that all the Mills work is done. However, a lot of that's going to have to be like ripped apart to accommodate the animal habitats. Here's all the existing animal habitats from the old zoo, so I hope to use a bunch of these parts in the new zoo. Decided to start with the elephants. I ripped out some of the DBG plates, replaced them with tan plates, and then put some of the dark azure plates to represent the base layer of water. Before getting too carried away with the actual habitats, I decided that it was probably best to actually plot out where the habitats were going to go. So I did that with a whole bunch of the 1x6x5 glass panels. For example, the crocodiles and one seagull is going to go right there. And then right here we've got the black panther. And beside that there are the primates, chimpanzees, monkeys, all that. Then the big cats. Big cats over there. And pandas in the center. There's also going to be a massive aviary that you can see after you enter the zoo. Look over the creek, which could change as well. Very easy to change the location and shape of that. And then there is going to be the aquarium right here. And I plan to expand that aquarium as well. Just a little bit of depth just to give it a little bit more size. Penguins will most likely go on the side of the aquarium up against the mountain. And then down here, there's most likely going to be seals and then polar bears. So the enclosures are a lot larger than the existing zoos, which I think is pretty cool because we'll be able to give the animals more space and also make their enclosures a lot better. Here's the existing zoo looking pretty rough, but it still has a lot of valuable pieces and components which can actually be extracted for the construction of the new zoo. This is what the zoo looks like at the end of the day. Lots of progress has been made. We've pretty much locked in the position of all of the enclosures with the glass tunnels, the viewing tunnels, and also the elevated walkway above those tunnels. So we've got the elephants, pretty much Africa right here. It's going to be ostrich, giraffe, and elephants all together. That's how it used to be. And then we moved the crocodiles right over here, and they're going to be paired up with the flamingos once again. It's just comical. And I love that. There might be some seagulls in there on top of the crocodiles as well. Now we decided to lock in the positions before working on the actual enclosures. Like we did add some tan there and some dark azure for the water in the elephant enclosure. But then it was like, okay, well maybe some of this stuff is going to change. So I think the most important thing is to lock in the viewing tunnels and the raised viewing areas before we continue developing the actual enclosures. So for example, that is not what it's actually going to look like, nor is this. There's going to be the details that are going to be added to these areas. But what we're going to do is actually create like a swamp there. So I'm going to use like the lime greens, dark greens, sand green for the underlying plate. And then we'll cover that with trans light blue and dark blue tiles. And we'll make a nice watering hole there for the crocodiles. The pandas are right here. The enclosure for them has been significantly increased in size, and actually so has all of the enclosures. So we took that extra space and we added some more space for all of the animals. So here we have a lot more space for these guys as well, and same with the black panther there as well. Might have to get another black panther. It's a pretty big enclosure, and there's going to be good viewing spots for the guests throughout the glass tunnels and of course above as well. And then this is where the monkeys are going to go here. You'll see that the brown fence comes to an end. That's because there will be a mountain back here as well. So when I build these custom mountains, which will span the entire back wall, I'm going to have to work on integrating this brown enclosure fence into the mountain, but I plan on doing that separately, and that's what's actually going to connect the mountain to the zoo. And then there is the lions right here, a little bit larger as well. So that's good. And they have a reddish brown palisade brick wall right there. That's because I didn't want them to look at the birds. The aviary is going to go right here. And I've pretty much copied the design of the old one, but made it much larger. So it's got the glass front, and then there's the palisade brick walls on top of the dark bluish gray rock panels. And then there's the arches coming off of those. So we'll have places to put perches for all the different birds. You can see a seagull's already liking his new home there. There's going to be no seagulls in there. But you got some more rock panels here, and then some more of the arches coming off the palisade walls. And what's going to be interesting is the mountain is going to be where I'm standing, and it's going to come down right here, and there's going to be a waterfall running off that mountain, and it's going to connect to the creek, which will pass through the aviary and through the entire zoo. As you can see, it sort of meanders through there. Now, one of the faults of the previous aviary that I had is it didn't have a double entrance. So this time I actually framed up a double entrance. So you can see the entrance right there beside the Panther souvenir stand. So that's entrance number 1, and then there's another glass door in there as well. That's going to be the main feature when you walk in the zoo entrance. You're going to see this awesome aviary that's going to have all sorts of vegetation inside, and then the mountains are going to be behind. It's just going to be so cool. I'm so excited about having the mountains behind the zoo. The previous layout just had a white wall because I didn't have space to add mountains behind it, but I can't wait to build that and integrate these mountains as the backdrop as the zoo. It's going to be so cool, and that's definitely going to be the project I work on once I'm done constructing the zoo. I'm happy that we went with the different layers of bricks and tiers, so there is a little bit of elevation change all throughout, and you can see some of the elevation change actually happens right in the enclosure, so that's going to be cool. And of course, I'm going to blend all of that in with slope bricks and all sorts of vegetation, and that'll be worked right into the enclosures. And you can see how those were treated on the elevated walkways as well. So there's just a slope brick right there, which acts as a ramp going up, and there's also a matching slope brick underneath in the tunnel as well. And that's the same in all cases. This one here, I did add the curved viewing area, and I am considering adding more of those curved viewing areas. It won't be hard to modify if I want to add another curved viewing area here, 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 wherever it may be. So I'm thinking maybe those will go on the ends there. That'd be really neat to have double-sided curved viewing areas there. I just wanted to get the actual structure of it locked down so that I can start working on the habitats for each animal. I also created this little miniature version of the ramp. The older zoo had a larger version of this, but I did add the miniature version of it right there. So that's the entrance to the tunnel and a ramp going up to the elevated walkway. Not quite done yet. Just got to extend the railing going there and then tile this all off as well because it'll all have that nice textured tile. And there's another entrance to the tunnel right here. I still have to treat this area, and I'm considering adding maybe another ramp going up there as well. Haven't quite decided if there's going to be 2 ramps leading up to the walkway. There probably should be, so I just got to figure out where I'm going to configure that in there. Now the river, it looks like it's a Minecraft river, but that is all going to change. Of course, I'm going to add stuff onto the river bank so I can blend in all of this color and start to give this thing a little bit more shape as it flows through the zoo. And there's going to be a little bit of a waterfall or a little trickle down right there as well. There is going to be more animal enclosures over here. I had to take the glass panels that were outlining those and move them to the bird aviary just because I was running low. So we've got polar bears, which will likely go in the corner there. And then there's also going to be seals right here. And in this back corner attached to the aquarium, there's also going to be penguins. And I think that's going to be pretty cool. Now, there used to be some black bears in my zoo, and I think the black bears are actually just going to be on the mountain range behind. I think it's going to add a cool story. There's like these wild bears above in the mountain range. I think that'll just be pretty cool. And the aquarium is going to actually get redone. I'm going to increase the size of it. You can see I've got it pulled away from the wall there. So we're going to add about was that 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, so we'll call it like 10 or 12 studs of depth to the aquarium, just giving it more space inside for the dolphins, making the aquarium itself larger, like the giant fish tank, and just sort of changing it up and improving that mock. I think because we're rebuilding the entire zoo, I may as well rebuild that as well. It was a great day of doing this, though. I think we've got lots accomplished, and And now we actually have a direction of where this is going to go. It's very similar to the existing one, but I think there has been some improvements with the increase in size of some of the enclosures, and the plans are going to be, the plans that I have in place are really cool as well, such as the meandering river. I think that's a huge bonus, and the mountain backdrop as well. That's really about it. I just wanted to share what I was able to accomplish today with you when it comes to constructing my newer, larger Lego City Zoo. I cannot wait to continue working on this, and eventually we'll integrate it into the city and then continue working on other stuff, such as the mountains. Yeah, one day at a time, we're going to kill it. It's going to be awesome. I love building Lego, and I can't wait to continue. It's just, I'm grinning ear to ear, everybody. There we go. That's the Lego Zoo. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and farewell.